Alrighty, so with the last couple of MLS team have officially released their new kit that they're going to be wearing heading into the 2025 MLS regular season. It's that time of the year again where we're going to do a ranking of looking at all these new kits slash jersey that each of these MLS team will be wearing, and that for some teams they decided to release their new home kit. For some team they decided to release their new away kit, or in the case of Inter Miami and San Diego FC, they decided to release both their home and new kit this season as a new jersey. But yeah, as always, I'm going to be doing a ranking, and as always, this is just my opinion. You can go ahead disagree with my opinion in the comment section below. And by the way, I'm actually wearing a DC United cherry blossom jersey because this is actually the last jersey that I I got, and that I think it's fitting for the fact that I decided to do a jersey video wearing a jersey as well, and I decided to, why not wear the last one that I bought, even though this is a jersey that DC United no longer wears as their away kit. But that being said, in terms of the rankings, we have the first tier, which is the tier where these are the one that I'm definitely buying in the near future and on the wish list. These are the best of the best in my opinion in terms of the new kit that MLS team released. The second tier is that I think this kit look good. Definitely one that I really like and maybe could be on the wish list in terms of jersey that I might buy in the near future. The third tier, of course, is the mid tier, where it could definitely be better in terms of how Adidas designed it, but it could also be a lot worse. And then the last two tier is the tier that you definitely don't want your team to belong, in my opinion, of those jerseys that Adidas has notoriously been releasing some really bad MLS jersey. I mean, I will say that they've definitely done a better job in terms of it in recent memory. It's nothing compared to what we saw in the COVID short season, where I remember in the COVID short season, everybody was complaining about Adidas releasing bad jersey, and I don't blame them because most of them were terrible or borderline unacceptable. But they've definitely done a better job in terms of it. But unfortunately, we do still see some very bad kit released by Adidas, and the fourth tier, of course, is the one that looks bland and boring. And then the fifth tier is just simply, I just have no idea what this team and Adidas is thinking about releasing this jersey for them to wear heading into this season. And I'm actually not going to go with alphabetical order, as you probably thought that I was going to. I'm actually going to go in the order in terms of the jersey that each of these MLS team have officially announced, because throughout these last couple of days, every single team decided to announce their jersey in different day, and it turns out one of my team, the San Jose Earthquakes, were actually the last team to announce their new jersey, even with the leak that it has. And it's also kind of funny the fact that the Quakes are going to have a kickoff party where they're going to reveal their new home kit heading into this season, even though it literally just announced today as well. So much for a review when we already knew what it's going to look like. But let's start with Inter Miami, because of course, why not start with Inter for Miami as the jersey that I want to give you guys a look. So I'm gonna show you guys the jersey that each of these teams gonna wear on my camera. So Inter Miami, as I mentioned, they're one of the two teams that have released both their home and away kit. This, of course, is the home kit that they are wearing, and I do apologize if the camera doesn't pick up my phone quality of the picture relatively well. But for the first one, yeah, I have to go in this tier. And I'm gonna write H because that's kind of their primary and home kit. So again, we knew that Inter Miami was going to release something that reminiscent of the Barcelona and Argentina jersey. With the jersey that they're wearing right here, it's pretty much a reminiscent to the Barcelona and Argentina jersey. But I do think that when you look at how Barcelona and Argentina has that same design, one Barcelona actually used different color for their design as well, and Argentina also kind of does the same thing as well with the famous blue and white kind of stripe. I mean, I just think that it just doesn't really work as well as it needs to be. But again, I can understand why Inter Miami decided to release that, because when you have the greatest player of all time and a team that pretty much uh, is made out of mostly Argentina player and also former Barcelona player as well. And unfortunately, this jersey that they release is going to continue to signify of people calling them Inter Barcelona, or formerly Barcelona 2015, rather than Inter Miami. I mean, yeah, that's why they decide to release this jersey, even though again, the official name of this kit is called the Euphoria kit. They might as well just say it's the Barcelona and Argentina inspired kit because again, the design of this is literally a complete copy of it, and that and it just doesn't really work as well, especially with the with one shade of pink and then one shade of lighter pink. And I've also will mention this throughout this video as well. I never like when teams decide to choose different shades of their primary color in their jersey. It usually just does not work very well. Now for their away kit, it's called the Fortitude kit. This, of course, is the one that they're wearing, and unfortunately, it's not any better. I mean, I'm actually gonna put this lower too because it really reminds me of the one that Toronto FC released. You know, Toronto had something similar to this design where they had one shade that is a little bit of gray and then the other is just completely white. That was literally the worst jersey that any team released that season, and that yeah, I mean, it just kind of reminds me of that as well, and I think that's clearly just lazy design. And also, for those of you wondering, why is Inter Miami releasing two jersey when pretty much every team except for an expansion team is releasing just one jersey? Well, you probably know why. It's obviously got to be the money. We got to the league is going to have to try to milk the Messi and friends kind of thing until we potentially leave this at the end of this season. So yeah, again, for those of you wondering that why that is the case, you probably know why exactly it is. Now, moving on to the next one, which is the New York Red Bulls. So the New York Red Bulls, they released what is called the Stone Kit. So this is what it looks like in terms of the Stone Kit. And by the way, I think throughout this video, my camera is going to be a little bit blurry because of me kind of zoom in throughout. But yeah, for the Red Bulls, in terms of this kit, I mean, I'm going to say right here, where it could be better, it could be a lot worse, but it's kind of a lower tier mainly because again, I never like jerseys that is kind of like a white grayish kid, and at least this one, it has that kind of pattern. Apparently, they said this is the stone kit because it's inspired by the Arctic textural grid pattern that originally at Stone Street in Manhattan. Which again, it's kind of funny the fact that they mentioned that because for a team that is the New York Red Bulls, there's always that butts of jokes about the Red Bulls playing in New Jersey, and if any team is going to inspire any architect based in Manhattan and actually based in New York City, it would actually be the team that plays in New York, that is NYCFC. But again, it's not a bad design, and again, I'll show you again in terms of this design. It's not a bad design, but it's definitely not one of the one that I would say I would definitely buy. And again, it's just I'm not a big fan of gray jersey. I just don't like that unless if they really go with crazy design. It doesn't really hit me whatsoever. Then we look at the Columbus Crew, who they decided to call their kit the Goosebump kit, and this is the kit that they're going to be wearing heading into this season. And I gotta say, I really like this. First of all, as a guy that when I was a kid, I love reading Goosebump story. I did watch the movie as well. The movie was okay, but I I, I think reading the books that it was definitely exciting to read all those books and read all those stories of the Goosebumps series. But yeah, I really like it. I mean, the design might be a little bit tacky at time, but it's a newer design. It's something that I haven't seen a team does, and that's something that I will always reward team to do, which is when they decide to go with a newer design. I know it might be a little bit of a risk, but that's kind of one thing that I want Adidas to do with all these MLS team with their new kit. I want them to take risks in terms of creating some design. Sure, it might not work out, it might blow up in their face, but I rather them have to do that rather than just kind of release boring design that I've seen before that just I feel like in my opinion, with these boring designs, that's kind of one of the reason why a lot of fans are very upset at Adidas with some of their the jersey that they of course wear. So moving on to the next team, we got Orlando City. So they call this the Perfect Storm kit. So this, of course, is the jersey that they are going to be wearing heading into this season. And for them, I would say it's kind of right here where it could be better, it could be worse. A lot of Orlando City fans told me that this looks like a training kit, and I mean I can see that with the way that the patterns that it is. It does kind of look like a bit of a training kit, and it also kind of reminds me the pattern that the jersey had with the one that Columbus, of course, used to have. I remember they had a very similar design, and that was during the COVID short season as well. As I mentioned, those were during the time when when Adidas just basically completely dropped the ball when it comes to designing MLS kit. But yeah, I can understand why Orlando City might not like it because it looks more like a training kit, but I think it's okay. And I also love the fact that it's called the perfect store kit because Orlando City for a while they were literally leading the league in terms of the most weather delay, and let's just hope that that's not a sign to come heading into this season as well. Because let's be honest, nobody likes to sit through a game on a weather delay, especially waiting for a weather delay for a game to begin. Then we go to Austin FC. So Austin, of course, they name it the Heartbeat Kit, and this, of course, is how it looks like. And yeah, it's pretty much the exact same design as Inter Miami, but I'm gonna even give them a lower grade. In fact, I'm just gonna say, why did they design this? And I know some Austin fans might like it, might disagree. It has the classic verde kind of color that for Austin, you have to have the verde color that is. But what I kind of don't like about this is that, again, they pretty much just copy Inter Miami when it comes to how they design. And unlike Inter Miami, where I can understand because of Messi and friends and the Argentine collection, the connection, I can't say the same thing about Austin FC. I mean, they just recently sold Sebastian Dreyusi as well, so yeah, there's not really a lot of Argentine connection. And I said that the paint color and the different shade of pink doesn't really quite work out. I think this is even worse. I mean, the way that Austin kind of used different shades of green, like this, and different shades of verde, it just doesn't even look. It actually looks even worse than the pink shade that is. So yeah, not a good one. Jersey, and that Austin has kind of dropped the ball a little bit when it comes to some of these new jersey. I remember when they came into the league, they released some really good jersey, but these last 2 years, yeah, it's just have not been at it whatsoever. Then we look at NYCFC. So they call this the Excelsior kit. And this, of course, is the jersey that NYCFC is going to be wearing heading into this season. And, I'm going to say that it's kind of like right here again, where it's kind of the middle of the pack. Again, when it comes to an NYCFC jersey, there's going to be blue, especially their primary kit that is. And one thing I will say about NYCFC is that they have been very bold when it comes to some of the jerseys that they created recently. I like the different color that they have, and I'm still looking to trying to get that green jersey that they have as a third kit. Unfortunately, I look everywhere online and it just doesn't seem like they have it on sale anymore. But for this one, I say it's okay because I can understand what they were trying to do. They would kind of mimic kind of the skyscraper kind of thing. That's why this kit is resembling of that. But again, it just kind of doesn't work out. It doesn't really kind of pull off relatively well. It kind of looks a little bit generic at time as well. But overall, not the worst one I've seen before. Then we go to the Philadelphia Union. So the Philadelphia Union, they decided to release the Voltage kit, and this, of course, is what it looks like. And I will say that this one is almost kind of a copy of what they did a couple of years ago when they decided to release kind of a Voltage kit as well. I think that one does a better job than the one that this one does. I think that one looks much cleaner than this one is. But nevertheless, I still think it's a good secondary jersey, and the Union has done a really good job when it comes to their secondary kit. They have created some really amazing second kit, and most of that is designed by their supporter crew as well. I remember when they signed that original voltage kind of lightning ball kind of kit that was coming from their supporter group, and mostly from their main supporter group, Sons of Benz, and that that kit was definitely one of the best one during a time when yeah, a lot of fans were very upset in terms of the Adidas creating these very boring white kind of away kit that and these kind of white can't miss away kit that people were very upset of just buying because nobody's gonna buy like $120 worth of jersey that is just a white jersey that is. With that being said, moving on to the next one, and that of course is the New England Revolution. So they unveiled the Eastern White Pine kit, and this of course is how it looks. And I gotta say, this is probably the best one out there. Out of all the new kit that MLS have announced, this one is probably the best one. And I have a feeling that this maybe is heavily inspired by the USL League One team that is Hearts of Pines, or I think that's is that what the team is called? I know that team is called USL League One Portland, Maine. That is, and they created a jersey that is kind of similar to that. But I really love this jersey because I do like the color of green as well, and especially the design of this. You can see like the pine trees like this, and it kind of makes sense for a region like New England that has a lot of that. It just looks very fresh. It looks very cool, and it also kind of fits even their shirt sponsor Gillette as well, because if I show you this jersey, it kind of fits the Gillette theme as well. So everything seems like it's a hit. It's probably the best one out there. Probably one of the better away kit that an MLS team has released as well. And this is definitely one that I'll definitely think about getting it in the near future as well. Then we go to Charlotte FC. So Charlotte, of course, go with the Fortress kit, and this, of course, is how it looks like. And I know it doesn't really kind of catch that on the photo, but I actually gonna put them a little high. Normally I don't like jersey that is completely black and it's silver, like that. But what is kind of different about this is that when you look at the design, it has that kind of fortress kind of night kind of medieval kind of design that I really like about now, and I also think it's a very clean jersey as well. Apparently I think it's called the Fortress kit mainly because Charlotte has been very good at home. They have had a really good home record at Bank of America Stadium ever since they came into the league, so it kind of makes sense why you want to call it that. And not to mention at Bank of America Stadium, when you look at the exterior of the stadium, there are a couple of kind of fortress-looking tower building when you enter the stadium. So it makes sense that they, of course, call this the Fortress Kit. And by the way, let me know also in the comments below if you want me to do a follow-up video talk about the name of these jersey, because some of these jerseys name and some of the name that they created are very unique and very um it's very cool sounding kind of name. Though I will say that there are some that are just, some that are clearly lazy and just some of the worst kind of name uh for a new kit to release heading into this season. Then we go to FC Dallas, so they call this the Inferno kit, and this of course is how it looks like. And unfortunately, yeah, this is probably arguably the worst one. When I saw this, I couldn't believe FC Dallas was going to do that. I mean, this one hits everything of what I don't like about what Adidas sometimes do with jersey. One, it's white. It's completely white. It's a generic kind of brand. And two, I mean, when you look at the logo and the fact that they color it all red, that just kind of doesn't make sense. I mean, I know this might be a homage to the Dallas Burn, and that's why they decided to go all red. But it just looks weird. The fact that the logo of this. I mean, do you see that as well, and how see the FC Dallas logo is just completely red. It just doesn't make sense. And some people might say, well, this is just Dallas being unique. Well, we'll give them that. But there's a reason why no teams have tried to do that, because it just does not look good whatsoever. And again, overall, it's really reminds me of what we saw a couple of years ago, and what made everyone hate about Adidas of creating these boring kind of kit as well. And yeah, easily I think is the worst one out there. I would say probably the second worst, because I'll also mention what is probably the worst one that Adidas and MLS have released for their respective team heading into this season for their new kits. Then we go to LAFC. So LAFC, they call this the secondary kit, which again, if I do a follow-up video based on the name of the jersey, LAFC would be literally at the bottom in terms of the name of the kit, because really LAFC, you couldn't come up with a more unique name than your just the secondary kit. But this, of course, is the secondary kit that they are wearing, and again, it's a little bit blurry out there. But I'm gonna say right here where I know it's another white jersey, and you would think that that when I mention about white jersey, it's kind of it bland and stuff like that. But I do think that this works a little bit better. It does kind of reminds me a little bit of the first secondary kit that LAFC released, with the way that that one was also kind of white and has a gold kind of design. But I think this one is definitely much cleaner than the one that FC Dallas has made, and especially, unlike FC Dallas, where they really just completely color their logo and their badge in red. LAFC didn't really quite do that. LAFC decided to still have the lettering and the logo to be gold, but at least it's not completely painted to gold. That is, and overall, this looks much cleaner design for a white jersey than it is what FC Dallas, of course, created. But now moving on to the next one. So the next one is called the Portland Timbers Forever Green and Gold Kit. Again, when it comes to the name itself, not the best kind of sounding name as well. But when it comes to the jersey itself, this is how it looks like, and you can't really quite see it, but in the jersey there's these kind of lines that pretty much is reminiscent of when you see like a wooded log. There's like these kind of lines in the center that is. I'm pretty sure there's a specific name of that. I can't really quite think of it right now, but I'm gonna say this is one of the better looking one as well. It's kind of also very close to being right top in terms of the list. I mean, when it comes to the Timbers, when it comes to releasing their primary green and gold kit, they can't go wrong with that. I think green and gold is obviously a really good color for the Timbers to work with, and this is another great one. I think besides the fact that I like the fact that they implemented those lines, that again, it's pretty much a reminiscent to the the log and all those lines that is found inside of it. I also really like the new jersey sponsor that they had, the Tillamook jersey sponsor. It fits so much better compared to their last jersey sponsor, where, yeah, their last jersey sponsor, let's not talk about that one, because that one got pulled because of some controversial thing that their CEO did. But the Tillamook one, it definitely fits better, and it's a rare example of seeing a shirt sponsor that actually fits really well with a jersey. We talked about before where sometimes some shirt sponsor does not really look very well in a jersey, and it could be a nuance. This is one of those one that it actually fits almost perfectly, as you can see right here, even though it's a little blurry. But that being said, moving on into the next one, we got FC Cincinnati. So they call this the Orange and Blue Legacy Kit. Again, just like the Portland Timbers, I feel like they could be a little bit better when it comes to coming up with the name of this. And this, of course, is how it looks like in terms of the jersey that Cincinnati is going to be wearing. Again, it's a little bit blurry for you guys to see. I'm gonna say right here where it feels like when I look at this jersey, it kind of is a little bit reminiscent of how the LA Galaxy had that famous kind of slash, kind of like a seatbelt kind of thing down their jersey, and it feels like FC Cincinnati has copied that the design. Though again, one thing that I really don't like about this jersey, and I've said this before as well, I never like when teams decide to go with a different shade of their primary color in the same jersey. And in the case for Cincinnati, they kind of did the same thing. Like the top part of blue looks a little bit different than the bottom part of blue. I mean, they really didn't necessarily have to do, do that as well. But overall, when it comes to the design, it's not bad, but it's definitely not one of the better one compared to the other nice design within the logo or within the jersey itself. Then we go to the next one, and the next one is Real Salt Lake. So they call the Grit City Kid, and I can probably have you guess why it's called the Grit City Kid. Again, this when I look at this kid, it literally kind of reminds me of the Croatian kid, because again, Croatia has that famous checker board pattern as well. And by the way, I don't know if Columbus have done a checkerboard pattern before. I know Colorado, of course, have done it because they kind of had that as one of their alternative logo. But it's kind of interesting to see RSL does it, and I do like the checkerboard pattern. I'm gonna put them right here as well. I think it's a very unique design as well. I know obviously Croatia is the most famous one to do it. I also saw Barcelona did it a couple of years ago, and everybody likes that. But yeah, I like the fact that RSL is joining the club in terms of it as well. And apparently, I'm reading here about the grid city. They said that it's a famous grid city that shaped the Salt Lake City urban form. So yeah, I guess that's I'm not sure what exactly that means because I'm not really too big into the whole city building kind of system. I'm pretty sure people from Salt Lake would understand. But overall, I do like the checker pattern kind of jersey. I always like it when a team does that. I think the Red Bulls also did that a couple of years ago, and I'm interested to see how many teams are going to try to do the checkerboard pattern in the near future as well. Then we go to Nashville. So Nashville, of course, they call it the Heart of Nashville kit. Again, the name could be a little bit better, but this, of course, is how it looks like. Again, it's a little bit blurry. I apologize. I'm gonna say right here. Again, this one when I look at it, it looks very similar to the one of the original Nashville SC jersey that they wear. I think it was either the home kit or the away kit where they gone with primary dark blue with a little bit of yellow as well. And while I will say that as we'll talk about some new kits that MLS team release are going back to some of the older design that some team has had. The reason why I think I will rank them a little bit higher compared to where Nashville is that Nashville doesn't really has that kind of iconic jersey that when you look at it, you know for sure that this is Nashville. I mean, I guess this could be that, but it's definitely on kind of almost on the boring side, the uninspiring side. If this is going to be kind of a jersey that we might see in the near future of how they design it. So yeah, overall, it's okay. That is, I do like the back right here. Again, I don't know if you can see it. I don't think you can see it relatively well, but I like how they design here at the back. You got the sound wave that is, and the kind of like the string wave to pay tribute to the Music City. And then I also love the fact that the word Nashville is written in heart as well. Just a little reminder that this, of course, is the heart of Nashville. Kid. And then we go to DC United. So DC, they decided to call this the Soul Kit. So this, of course, is how it looks like. And yeah, it's a white jersey, so you know that I probably might put them right here. I'm gonna put them a little bit higher when it comes to this, almost near the borderline of could be better and could be worse. I think the could be better part, obviously, again, it's a white jersey. Anytime when it's a white jersey, and I know some DC fans have say it's not, it's more creamy. So like, no, it's a white jersey. The only thing I will say it's a little bit better compared to previously is that I do like the design on the side here. As you can see right here, I really like the design. Again, this is a tribute in terms of the funk so kind of heritage that DC had as well. Very similar to how the design of this is similar to how the women's team for the Oakland Roots, the Oakland Soul, also kind of had similar design of this as well, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, overall, again, it is a white jersey. I don't really like when teams decided to release these kind of white jersey because it's always going to knock down the score. But at least this one, the side of it has a unique design on them, but it's still not going to be enough for me to say that they belong it in a category as high as where I'd say it could be better, but it could definitely be worse. Then we look at the Vancouver Whitecaps. So they unveiled the peak jersey. And this, of course, is the peak jersey that they unveil. It's kind of weird that, they call this the peak jersey when this kind of looks almost the same as the one that they had a couple of years ago. And this is, of course, where I get to talk about teams that, they decided to go with some of the older design that they had. And while some people might think that's lazy, sometimes going with older design as a new jersey that works as well. Now, obviously, I think with the way that with some teams going with these older design, I'm pretty sure for some fans that have already have like jerseys that looks like that. I know that fans obviously were gonna say, well, we're not gonna buy it because it's pretty much the same design. But at the end of the day, the way that Vancouver when they designed their home kit. I mean, this home kit that they've been wearing that's kind of what resemble Vancouver more than what we saw with Nashville. That is, I would not be surprised they might go with the same design because when you look at that design, everybody know that yeah, that is the Vancouver Whitecaps, and I'm also glad when they did that a couple of years ago because I remember a couple of years when they did that this design, it was a homage to the Whitecaps team. I think in the 90s that they wear something similar to that as well. Now, moving on into the next team. So this is CF Montreal. They go with the original jersey, and I'm pretty sure you probably know why it's called the original jersey. Honestly, if you're gonna release this, you might as well just call this the Impact jersey as well, because again, this is virtually the Montreal Impact jersey, and I'm gonna go with the same category as Vancouver because again, it's an older design. I will say that I'm gonna put them maybe a little higher considering that again, I actually haven't had the old Montreal Impact jersey. I'll probably maybe even buy the old one because the new one is gonna be really expensive. I know that the old one, I heard that on eBay and on this seller called Full Moon Jersey, they do have the old Montreal jersey that looks like this, the one that has the Montreal Impact logo as well, which I feel like you know, again, I'm glad the fact that CF Montreal basically listened to the fans and say that the rebrand that they had a couple of years ago was absolutely hideous. But let's be honest, they need to be rebrand their name back to the Montreal Impact, and their fan base knows it too. Even the hardcore ultra, when you see every single game, no, they never put the word club. They put Montreal. They always put Impact de Montreal because the team should still be called the Montreal Impact to this day. And it actually took me a long time for me to finally got used to calling themselves CF Montreal, or many times I just refer them as Montreal because again, I wish they bring back the Impact name. And looking at this jersey, it just makes me want them to bring back the Impact name more because that's what the Impact used to wear. And if they're gonna wear that, you might as well just bring back that name this season or use it as a nickname as well. Now we go to the Chicago Fire. So the Chicago Fire, they decided to wear this kit. This is called the Municipal Kit. Again, this kind of reminds me a little bit of the Water Tower kit that they have, where it was kind of a little bit uninspiring. I'll give them a little higher mark, mainly because they have a bit better unique design out there. Again, I don't know if you can really see the unique design right here, but yeah, it's a little bit better compared to some of the older ones, but yeah, it is a white jersey, and well, I wouldn't say it's completely white. It's kind of almost bluish, kind of white that is, and again, it's kind of reminds me a little bit of the Water Tower kit because that kit also is white with a little shades of blue and red, resembling the fire. Um, logo and also the flag of Chicago that is. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad kit. But again, because it's sort of a white one, it does take a little bit of a knock. Now, moving on, we go to the Houston Dynamo. So they named this the Season 20 kit. So almost they're pretty much taking a page out of the San Jose Earthquakes when it comes to naming their kit because last year, I think the Quakes name it. This is 50, resembling their 50th anniversary. Of course, the Dynamo, they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. Even though, as a Quakes fan, and I'm pretty sure with longtime Quakes fan, they're still going to be very bitter of what happened in 2006 when the team moved to Houston. But they decided to go with this design, and again, I'm actually going to put it a little bit higher, and I'm going to say this actually, not only it's a good one, but this is basically a reminiscent of the Houston Dynamo orange jersey that they wear during really the golden days of the Houston Dynamo. Again, even though it was a bit controversial in terms of how they came into the league, winning back-to-back MLS Cup and continue to be a dominant force. There's no doubt that these jersey is a big tribute in terms of those early Dynamo teams that were just not just only one of the best team in the league, but a team that regularly competes for a trophy, regularly made it to MLS Cup as well. And I think it's only fitting the fact that the Dynamo decided to pay tribute to that. And again, as a Quakes fan, and certainly as some older Quakes fan can tell you, they're definitely not salty about what happened in 2006. And in terms of the fact that they have to see this jersey, and kind of it's almost a big reminder that those two MLS Cup the Houston Dynamo won after moving from San Jose probably should have belonged to the Quakes. Then we look at the LA Galaxy, the defending MLS Cup champion LA Galaxy, that is. So they decided to go with this kit called the Reason Rezon jersey. That's how you pronounce. I mean, they capitalize Rezon, that is, but this of course is how it looks like. And I gotta say, I like it. In fact, it's kind of near the top of the list where it could be on my wish list as well. And again, one thing I always love team to do is that they're being bold when it comes to design. The Galaxy is definitely being very bold when it comes to this design as well. And the other thing I also like is I always love purple jerseys as well. And that the Galaxy, knowing that they are the Kings of MLS. Why not go with an MLS jersey to show that they should be deserve the royal treatment? And also, it kind of makes sense that when you see the word Galaxy and look at the color they had, I think blue and purple that definitely definitely goes well for them. Although I will say that this is kind of a jersey that I feel like Inter Miami probably could have thought about if they're really gonna go with the Barcelona kind of theme, because when you look at the design of this, this really looks like the same color theme as the Barcelona team, that is. And we go to the Seattle Sounders, so they call this the stylish seat kit. And this, of course, is how it looks like. And I gotta say, it's another one where I'm gonna be right at the top of the list of one that I really wants to buy. And this the the coloring of this really reminds me of their hockey team, the Seattle Kraken. The Seattle Kraken has always have some really nice jersey, especially their inaugural season, that is, and it's only fitting that the Sounders decided to kind of copy that kind of design as well. And I also love the pattern itself as well. It's called the Solish Sea Kit. It has these kind of wavy kind of pattern as well, or should I say it kind of looks more like a mountain kind of design, and it also kind of makes sense for Seattle as well, knowing that around the Seattle area you can see Mount Rainier and also the Olympic mountain as well. So definitely a great idea and a great design, and also the coloring as well. I mean, when you look at this color, it really it really represents Seattle in a whole. Now we go with Atlanta United. So Atlanta, they decided to call the connector kit, and basically, it's pretty much almost the same kit that they wear in their inaugural season, and really some of the older five stripe kit. I mean, again, I'm gonna put Atlanta right here along with Vancouver and Montreal, where I know this might sound like a boring design because they're going with the same five stripe kind of look from before, but it's getting to a point where when you're Atlanta United and when it comes to the home kit, you have to put the famous five stripes out there. You're gonna have to put the red and black as what Atlanta jersey has had. So it's getting to a point where it's kind of almost hard for them to create something different. And that I don't mind that of course is the case. I feel like for some teams, as much as they change their home kit every single year, I don't mind for some teams that just stick with one design that not only works very well, but it can build an identity that they're gonna release this jersey, and it's gonna show that it's going to be similar to some of the older one, because that's the identity of this team. And again, I can't think of an Atlanta United home jersey without seeing the five stripes like this. And again, because I have a jersey that's similar to this, I'll probably won't buy it, and I'm pretty sure that's kind of the same thing for some Atlanta fans. Think that, well, we already had something similar to that. Maybe we might not think about buying this. Now we look at Sporting KC. So this is called the 1KC jersey. So this, of course, is how it looks like. And again, this is similar to what we see with Atlanta, Montreal, and Vancouver. They've gone with a design very similar to what they used to do, which is the hoop kit. But unfortunately, I'm going to put them a little bit lower. And I know this might be hypocritical of me saying the fact that why would I put a design that is very iconic for Sporting KC, and why would I put them even lower than what it is here? Well, the one thing I really do not like about this jersey is these lines. You see these lines right on the well, I'm not sure you can see it relatively well. It feels like they overdone it. I think they overdone done it in terms of that. It just I feel like if they stick with kind of almost like the same design as the hoop kits that they had before, I'm perfectly fine with it. But because they kind of designed it, and it looks kind of very choppy as well. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put them a little bit lower than that. And I've already heard a lot of Sporting KC fans have complained about the jersey and say that it's even though it's a hoop kit, it looks nothing like the one that they had, or at least well, it does look like the one that they had, but it feels like it's a downgrade compared to previous season. Then we go to St. Louis City. So St. Louis City, they go with the Forever City red kit, and this, of course, is how it looks like. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put St. Louis right here in the look bland and boring category. I feel like if this was their expansion season jersey, I would understand because when it comes to expansion team, they don't want to be too bold when it comes to the design, but unfortunately, this is their third season into MLS, and I've seen St. Louis have I really love their first jersey that they of course wear. The other one, yeah, they have really kind of dropped the ball on the other one. The away kit that they've been wearing has not been good whatsoever. And this one again, feel like they could have been if they were gonna be bold, at least for their first one, I feel like they could have been bolder for their second jersey as well, instead of just a plain red jersey as well. And even some people say that this kind of looks like a polo T-shirt as well, and that's also kind of one of the criticism that MLS fans has with Adidas design, where if you can design a jersey that looks like a polo T-shirt, it should not be costing you $130 or even 170 or $80 if you want to buy the players or custom kind of jersey as an authentic compared to some of these polo jersey or polo shirts that might cost you only $40 or so. And then next we have the Minnesota United kit, which is called the Convergence kit. And this of course is how it looks like. And yeah, I'm gonna be a little harsh and say that I think they're right here. And I know the Loons have really some really good jersey throughout the last couple of years. I think ever since they absolutely botched it with the completely white kit that they had a couple of years ago, which that was literally one of the worst jersey I can remember in recent memory. Easily the worst jersey that Minnesota United has released. This one though, I mean, this one kind of looks like a little bit of an upgrade version to the River kit, and I do have the River kit as well. The reason why I don't like this is kind of the same reason I said before. I just don't like when teams decide to go with different shades of their primary color as well. And also, not to mention, I've already heard from Loons fans saying that when you look at how the pattern it kind of resembling something that is I'm not gonna say it on this video because it might get demonetized and it's not family friendly. But you know what I'm talking about when you see this and it has like the white spot kind of splashing out there. That is so. Yeah, overall, it's definitely a bit of a downgrade compared to the last two season. I mean, I know it was gonna take a lot for this team to follow up what they did last season. Like last season, that starry kit, which I still have, that is probably the best jersey that any team released last season. Even though I might be biased as a Minnesota United fan, but just I feel like following that with this one, it's a little bit disappointing. Though I will say that one thing I do like about this jersey, and this is something that I wish other Minnesota United jersey will have. First of all, I do like the Loons alternative logo. It looks really clean. But the other thing I really like is that they included the Minnesota shape. I really wish that Minnesota United could do it with their other kit. I know other Minnesota team has done that as well. And I also won't be surprised because Minnesota has recently released a new state flag that they might even put their state flag as one of the resembling as well. Now, moving on to Toronto FC. So they call this the club kit again. Name could be a little bit better in terms of being a little bit more detailed, but this is of course how it looks like. And again, I'm not gonna rank them too high on this one. I'll just say it's right here. Where again, when it comes to Toronto FC, when it comes to home kits, it's got to be red. I mean, they're called the Reds, so it has to be red that is. And I will say that this one at least is a little bit better compared to the last couple of TFC jersey, because the last couple of TFC jersey, especially their away jersey, yeah, those were ugly at not only ugly but also just bland and boring. And this one again, I can see some of the design that they of course go with some of the patterns, and again, it's kind of a unique pattern in a way where I would say it's kind of almost similar to what NYCFC did with their jersey. And this is actually, let me show you again because the camera is a little bit laggy again. In fact, I don't know if the camera can focus again, but yeah, I just think that the once again, when a jersey has like different shades of color, I don't really like that, and this is another example of it. But again, it's better compared to some of the away jerseys they have. I'm pretty sure TFC fans are really hoping next year they'll hit it out of the park with some of the away jerseys that they wear. And then we go with the Colorado Rapids. So the Colorado Rapids, they call this the Headwater Kit, and I think you can probably guess why it's called the Headwater Kit by by the look of this, even though again it's a little bit blurry. But yeah, for that one, I'm gonna say it's right up here again. It's one that I really like. And it kind of makes sense why they decided to go with that one because in the Rocky Mountain you have a lot of beautiful rivers out there. I know that because I've been up in the Rocky Mountain before, and that also it also fits the team name as well because when you call it yourself the Rapids, you have to release a jersey that kind of has a water theme. And I also love how in the one of their bottom it has like the two kayak kind of thing, which kind of represents that the water theme and the rapid water theme in the Rocky Mountain region. But I think the other thing I really also love about this jersey is that they decided to go with the green color as well. I always love when Colorado go with the green color because that's kind of the original color of the Colorado Rapids as well. The only thing I really don't like about this jersey is the alternative logo that they have. So this apparently is their alternative logo, and I can understand what they try to do. They try to copy what the Colorado Avalanche do with the iconic C with the hockey puck in between the C, and I just think that with this one it kind of doesn't really quite work as good with the soccer ball in between the C, that is. And then we go with San Diego FC. So San Diego has two kit because they are the expansion team. So the first one is their main kit. It's called the State Afloat jersey. This one doesn't really show that well because Chucky Lozano, of course, is wearing it, and then the other is kind of cut off as well. I have heard a lot of criticism with this jersey. I think it's a little bit better than what people say. I know a lot of people say it's a little bit too boring, but the reason why I'm gonna give them a higher score is because this is what I expect with expansion team. They're not gonna go too bold when it comes to their home kit, at least for most expansion team that is. And also I do think the blue, the dark navy blue and the silver part, I think that creates a unique well, I wouldn't say unique design, but it kind of works better than what people I think says. At least that's kind of according to me. I feel like it works better than what people might think it is. But I can also understand why some people might think it is a really boring kit because San Diego has been kind of dropping the ball when it comes to releasing jerseys and also their logo itself. But one thing I will say is that their away kit, yeah, this of course is the away kit that they of course are going to be wearing. Nope. I don't even need to show you that much by automatically putting them here. Again, anytime when it's a white jersey like this right here. And yes, there is a little bit pattern out there as well, though the pattern it's kind of a little bit weird as well. It's almost like the pattern that they show is almost kind of a bit of a copy of what the Portland Timbers did with them. And while it worked out for the Timbers because it kind of makes sense based on their team, it doesn't really make sense with San Diego FC. And again, I've already said this many times. Whenever it's like a white jersey like that and no unique pattern, it's automatically going to go in this category. I mean, I might put it in this category if they at least have some unique design, but if it has no unique design, it's a white jersey, automatically. And why the hell did they design this? This is the exact reason why fans really did not like Adidas creating some of these MLS jerseys in the past. And then last but not least, we get to the final team, which is my other team, the San Jose Earthquake. So they call this the headliner kit, and I can understand why it's called the headliner kit because you can see Well, I'm not sure you can really quite see in terms of kind of the newspaper article that is around the jersey, and I gotta say, this is definitely one of the better Quakes jersey that they released. I still need to buy the one that they celebrate the first start jersey. I think it was back in 2001, if I'm not mistaken, that they celebrate like that as a 20th anniversary back in 2021. That was a really nice looking jersey. But this one, I like it too, and I might even be very tempted when I do go to that season, the season opening kind of kickoff party that the Quakes of course have on Sunday, and think about buying this one as well, because again, it's a very unique design. There hasn't been an MLS team that have tried to do this where they put like newspaper kind of design on their jersey as well. The only time I remember a team try to do this was Club Leon. They did it a couple of years ago with their jerseys as well, and I thought it looks really cool. And I thought that maybe one of these MLS team is going to try to do the same thing. And lo and behold, that is exactly what they of course do. Now, obviously, apparently they said that this basically celebrate the Bay Area rich history of punk rock, which again that kind of makes sense because you know the official anthem of the San Jose Earthquakes, never say die by Old Firm Casual. That is a punk bang. That is a little nod to that. But again, I do like the newspaper kind of design it is. It's something that again I no MLS team have tried to do so. I think it's very unique. And while some might say it's a little bit messy, I don't think so. I think it's a really nice looking one. And again, I am very tempted to buy this one. I'll probably have to spend a lot of money to do so, and I unfortunately don't have too much money right now to spend on new jerseys. Actually, when I recently just got a new car not long ago, but. Yeah, either way, there we have it. That is pretty much it. Looking at every single team's jersey, we went through pretty much 32 of them because there was two teams that were releasing two of their home kits, so that's why this video is like 50 plus minute long. But as always, let me know in the comments below what do you think of this video, and if you agree with the list as well. Again, this is based on my opinion. Your opinion might be different in terms of what these jerseys that I've shown you and how they look and where they belong in the rankings. But as always, let me know in the comments below your opinions in terms of every MLS team jersey. Did I maybe rank some team a little too high, or did I rank some team a little bit too low? But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to see a like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.